Hi, my name is Howard Ketover. I'm a veterinarian with Irongate Equine Clinic. We are a equine veterinary practice based out of Madison, Wisconsin. Today we're going to be talking about feeding your senior horses through the wintertime, things we can do, techniques we can use to make sure they come through the winter as healthy and with as much weight as we can. When we first start thinking about feeding horses in the wintertime, the first nutrient you always have to think about is water, especially in our senior horses, making sure that they have access to a temperature level water source. As that water temperature decreases, oftentimes we'll see consumption of that water decrease as well, so we don't want to run into any dehydration issues or impaction issues just because those horses aren't having access to a warm source of water. Another thing that's a little bit different for our senior horses is making sure that we don't have any significant tooth abnormalities. So having your veterinarian come out and evaluate your horse's teeth, make sure we don't have any loose teeth or fractured teeth that might need to come out prior to winters to make sure they're able to chew and function as well as they can through the wintertime. Next thing we're going to be thinking about and looking at is forages versus concentrates. What are we trying to accomplish and how are we going to get it done? So depending on your horse and how many teeth they have may dictate what type of concentrate or forage source you're using. Oftentimes some of our senior horses, we will see that they're no longer able to consume as much hay as we would like. So either because their teeth aren't functioning properly is the most common issue, or they've lost those teeth. So if we can give them a separate source of forage, some people use chopped hay, some people use beet pulp, some people use some of the perennial products that are out there like the hydration hay. All work very, very well, but making sure that they have access to a forage that they can actually consume and just not make those hay quids and drop out is crucial. We always do want to remember that we're trying to feed the microbes in those horses' gut, so the more forage we can give them, the more heat of fermentation they're going to make and the warmer they're going to stay. But we got to make sure they're actually able to eat what we're giving them. Next thing we're going to look at is other concentrates that are on the market, and some of these are sort of a hybrid between a forage and a concentrate. The classic is our senior products that are out there. Those products are designed to be fed as a sole source of nutrition for our senior horses. But oftentimes you're going to be looking to feed somewhere between 8 to 12 or 15 pounds of that a day. So depending on what your horse is able to consume, if he is able to consume other sources of hay or forage, you might not need to use that much, but they are a fantastic source of nutrition for senior horses through the winter. There are other concentrates out there trying to add more fat or carbohydrate in. Using the product like a rice bran or an oil is very reasonable and a thing to do. To add those calories and trying to keep those senior horses going through the winter. One of the things that we do want to think about and be aware of is some of those pelleted products, especially in our senior horses, can be a little more difficult to swallow. They aren't chewing quite as well. The senior horses aren't chewing quite as well. So sometimes we can see them partially chew those senior products, swallow them, without a lot of saliva in there, creating sort of a consistency of peanut butter, and we can see some choking issues develop with that. So trying to add some extra water to those senior products before you feed them. It's a fine balancing act between adding a water source to that senior or that pelleted feed and having it freeze on us prior to the horse being able to eat it, but something to consider doing in the wintertime for our horses. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Howard Ketover with Irongate Equine. Take care.